Hello viewers, I'm Dave Morris, filling in for Helen Ford Wallace, who's not here this week. In fact, I gotta say this, since we started doing video on newsok.com, I think back in 2007, Parties Extra has been the longest running video series, and that's a credit to Helen and the work that she puts in every week. So I'll do the very best I can to guide this week's conversation in lieu of Helen Ford Wallace. I should say some business off the top that Parties Extra brought to us by our sponsors, Party Galaxy. Happy to have them on board. In fact, if you have some party needs, maybe you have a Cinco de Mayo party coming up, I don't know, Party Galaxy would be a good place to go. Behind me, there's some artwork, JRB Art at the Elms. They always participate in this show. We certainly appreciate that. And then I should also say Tructa's Flowers and Garden Center for participating with various flowers and floral arrangements throughout this. Let's get down to this week's show, though. Quail Creek has a home tour coming up on Saturday, April 23rd, and here to tell us about it, Julie Leclerc. I say that close to right?
Leclerc.
Julie Leclerc, Jennifer Watkins, and Brian Ferguson. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having us. Thank
you. Julie, I'll start with you. The Quail Creek Home Tour. What is that?
Yes. Well, Quail
Seems
Creek,
pretty self-explanatory, however.
It is a little bit. Quail Creek is undergoing a revitalization, and we have entrances going into all 24 of our entrances that need to be funded. So Quail Creek Home Tour is one of those fundraisers. And next Saturday from 10 to 4 and then from 6 to 8, we'll be opening 6 homes, 3 in the north and 3 in the south, for attendees to come check out what we're doing in Quail Creek. And then we'll have one bonus home from 6 to 8 during the twilight hours that comes complete with cocktails.
All right, so lots of questions based off of that, and that's a fantastic overview. 24 entrances.
It does, yes.
That smacks of this being a very large neighborhood, Brian.
It is a very large neighborhood. We're actually considered one of the largest neighborhoods in the state, with 24 entrances and almost 2 square miles. That we cover 1,700 homes. There's a lot of residents, a lot of diversity. So a lot of funding is needed to make any kind of physical improvement to the overall neighborhood as a whole.
What sort of entrances do you guys have right now?
Most of them do not include, I mean, they're just lightly maintained,
Sure.
you know, just off arterial access points. But what we want to do is be able to add walls and physical structures, security, cameras, lights,
Wow.
Landscaping, all those types of things, as much as possible to really define Quail Creek as a neighborhood versus just the arterial streets kind of boxing us in. So shooting for that long term.
Quail Creek is one of those neighborhoods that has a nice diversity of curb appeal. And what I'm getting at is you pull into the neighborhood, there are trees. Mm-hmm. Every house doesn't look like the house next to it. It's not a cookie cutter situation.
Right. It's not cookie cutter at all. Quail Creek has these beautiful meandering streets that are tree lined. We have quaint little cul-de-sacs. We have a great park. There's a country club in the north side. There's even homes on the lake. So we have a little bit of everything in Quail Creek.
You're hiding a lake back there?
We are.
We are.
And the lake residents are very proud of their lake.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, you also have a very good school back there, right?
We do. Quail Creek Elementary is a great public school in Oklahoma City Public School District, and my kids go there. We've had a great experience.
Tell me about the people who live there. 1,700 houses. That's a big neighborhood, as we talked about. But I see you guys. You're involved. That tells me that there are a lot of people engaged in the neighborhood, and they want to see maybe some change.
Like Brian was saying, we have quite a bit of diversity. So we have young families who are buying their starter homes all the way up to $1 million dream homes. We find families who move to Quail Creek and stay there for years and years. We even have one of our homeowners on the home tour, Jay Johnston, grew up in Quail Creek. He lived in 5 houses when he was a kid growing up, and he and his wife have lived in 3 separate houses in Quail Creek as adults and with families.
Nice.
So that's what we find. We find that everyone can find a home in Quail Creek, and a lot of people stay.
You're right, it is a good price range, and there are definitely different sizes of houses. What are we looking at here? Let's talk about the home tour.
Okay.
Who is on this tour?
Okay, so like I said, we have 3 houses in the north, and 2 of those are on the golf course. One is what we're calling a modern house, and one is pretty traditional, but they're both larger sort of dream homes that are on the golf course. And then we have another great house in the north. And then on the south side, we have a couple of homes that are for sort of their starter families or their second family home with young kids. So there's some great examples of remodeling homes for that type of family. And then we also have a larger home on the south side that is a little bit of a dream home as well. And then Jennifer's house is the Twilight House, and it's a great house that The common theme among our home tour is that every house has been remodeled. One was taken all the way down to the foundation and rebuilt, but all of them have been revitalized in some way, which is exactly what we're trying to do to the entrances.
Gotcha. Jennifer, tell me about the Twilight. What's going on there that night?
Well, my house is the bonus house, and so it's just going to be, you can buy an extra ticket for it, and then we'll have cocktails, and it's just going to be more of a relaxed kind of a cocktail party environment. But
Do you know what you're getting into?
I know. That's what I keep saying.
So, Dave, real fast, on Friday night we have a kickoff party at Carrie and Ryan Leonard's house that is Cocktails in the Creek, and it's primarily geared toward Quail Creek residents, but we'll also have a lot of sponsors of the home tour present to be recognized for their sponsorships. So that's sort of the kickoff party, and then Jennifer's Twilight House is the ending
Very nice.
to the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Do you typically throw parties? Are you used to this?
Yes, I am actually.
So there you go. So everybody in neighborhoods, of course, is going to be at your place,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
You mentioned north and south. Brian, walk us through this again,
Sure.
kind of the logistics of Quail Creek.
Well, it's like I said, around a 2 square mile area, running from Hefner Road on the south side all the way up to Memorial Road on the north side. 122nd being the primary corridor that kind of divides the north, what people call the north side versus the south side. And that's just kind of our primary corridor, but it's not getting all the attention of our entrances. We've got entrances going up at various streets, all over the place. Quail Creek Bank has helped us sponsor our most recent one that's under construction right now at Pine Ridge Road. We just finished one over on Rosewood, one on Maple Ridge, and we're really gunning for our primary entrances at 122nd and Quail Creek Road, which take you towards the country club, and then also south.
I was just about to ask you, is there any talk, and I have no idea, whether there will be a light or a stop sign or something at that area, because it's a very busy
It's busy, and it can be get a little hairy at times, but we kind of leave it up to the city, since we're a public neighborhood, to really come in and analyze those things and dictate whether or not
traffic studies and whatever.
Yeah, absolutely, and whether or not that's feasible. And we kind of request those pretty often for those areas. And so I don't know at this time if they have a light planned. Actually, I don't think they have a light planned at this time, even though it's probably needed. But, yeah.
Seems like there in the lighthouse is the gym next to it.
Yeah.
A lot of people turning in there, right?
A lot of traffic over there, especially 5 o'clock. But you have your heavy times, and then
Sure.
other times it thins out, and it's just kind of back to status quo.
Julie, back to you. This is not the only fundraiser you guys have going on.
It's not. So about a year ago, we decided we need to start having neighborhood events. We've had neighborhood events for years, sponsored by the HOA, but they weren't fundraisers. So we wanted to start adding in some fundraisers because that's really what we need right now. And so a year ago, we did our first Cocktails in the Creek, which was sort of our kickoff party for every fundraising effort, and that was last April. And it was a beautiful night, and Vicki and Neil Snowden, who are actually on our home tour this year, opened their house last year. And then we also, in October, had an Oktoberfest, and in conjunction with that, a fall festival for kids. And that far exceeded our expectations, and it was also a beautiful day, and a ton of people came from outside of the neighborhood and inside the neighborhood and enjoyed festival games and bounce house and things like that. And then we also had the first Creek Invitational, which was our golf tournament. So we'll be doing all of that again this year, and we're going to be adding a Creek Run, which is going to be our 5K.
Very nice. I guess I should say this is probably open to anybody who wants to come to these events, right?
Yes, we would love for anyone and everyone who would be interested in checking out Quail Creek or checking out remodeled homes to come purchase a ticket. So you can purchase tickets at quailcreek.org.
Very nice.
That's probably the quickest way, and if you do purchase the tickets on the internet, there'll be a will call list at every home and at our hub,
Cool.
which is Quail Creek Country Club. So Quail Creek Country Club, if you come that day, will have food trucks, they'll provide restrooms, there'll be a will call station there, and that will be a happening place. You can also park there and use our provided transportation.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So that'll be great, because it's such a big neighborhood.
Good central
you can't
location
walk
there
it,
at the
or
country
you
club,
could,
and-
but yeah, it could take all day. So in addition to that, we also have some local vendors who are passing out, or who are selling tickets. So Norwalk, Quail Creek Bank, Urbane, which is downtown, Interior Guild,
Mockingbird Manor.
Mockingbird Manor, and then there's Weekenders in Norman.
Okay.
So those are all local places you can go get tickets. Oh, and Haggard's Furniture.
Yes.
All right, fantastic. Anything else we need to know? I think we've covered most of the basics here.
I think maybe one more thing I'll add is that in each house we'll have a floral sponsor.
Great.
So there's florists from all over the city who are sponsoring each house. And then we're also going to have the dining room set up by a tablescape sponsor. So like BB's, BC Clark, different stores are donating their china and things like that that we can check out. And then we also have a vendor at every house so you can come and shop.
You guys have put some thought into this.
Yes, we
Very
have.
nice.
Put a lot of work into this. These girls have done a ton of work on all of these events, so they're fantastic.
Very good. The 5K race coming up in June and
Correct.
the golf tournament later in the fall.
Yes.
All right, very good. Julie, Jennifer, and Brian, thank you so much for stopping in. We certainly appreciate it.
Thank you
Absolutely.
for having us.
The inaugural Quail Creek Home Tour, Saturday, April 23rd. Again, you can go online to quailcreek.org for more information. Helen, she'll be back next week here on Parties Extra. A big thanks again to Party Galaxy, to JRB Art at the Elms, and to Tructus Flowers and Garden Center for their help with this show. And more Parties Extra can be found online at newsok.com.